Sam Tweedy heading out for his qualifying round number 5 run in the old Eagle Hull. And I'll tell you, the way that Sam Tweedy's backing off coming into this hairpin, I wonder if he's going to go in there with a bit more confidence this time.
Yeah, it's all about setting up the trim in the boat. You see, if you ever look at his nose cavity, it's slightly high. So what he's done is got the boat set up for speed. What that's not going to help is with the hairpin. So see, she's a little bit unsettled. It needs to be nose down.
Yep,
what will fix it is a Coke can, to be honest. That's all you need to do. Cut a Coke can, 2 mil, and down she'll go.
So you slip that into the back of the jet unit
back
there?
Back of the nozzle, yeah.
Back of the nozzle.
And that'll bring that nose down and it'll settle just a bit nicer. So if you're chasing the speed at a track like Auckland, somewhere you've got a Wanganui where you've got big straights, here in Taranaki, it's all turns. That's
so you need to get the bow of the boat down. Sam Tweedy opens up qualifying round number 5 with a 45.436. Mate, you might need to, I think, with your expertise, you know, of course, was it 2011 you were World Unlimited Superboat Champion. Mate, you've been around the sport for a number of years, world champion, nothing to sneeze at. You might be able to give a little bit of advice to some of these guys and girls.
Yeah, it is always good. Like I say, when I used to do a bit of the commentary, you'd find time at lunchtime to have a yak with them and just say to them, hey, have a look at your trim. It's something that a lot of people don't look at. They're always looking at the data, looking at the engine, what sort of horses, how much power am I getting, what's my throttle position. But that's all worthless if the boat is not sitting where you need it. So it certainly is nice, and it's good that they take it. We talked about John O'Veary before, but here he comes.
In the Link ECU engine management vessel 0800, my engine, Tim Patterson down there in Wanganui's twisting the spanners down there. And you are right, mate, you know, if you're getting the right amount of horsepower out of your boat, the rest of it is just set up and another bit of weed. So that's interesting. That's the teammates, Pip Thompson and John Very, coming off the line and just not getting off that line. But, you know, let's talk also about the nozzles, the bigger the outlet of the nozzle, because you're only changing nozzle inserts by millimetres.
Sometimes 0.5 of a millimetre. I talked about a Coke can before. When we've been desperate at the World Series, trying to shim a boat or try and get it out, we've actually pulled a Coke can out of the rubbish, cut the Coke can, and it's just that how thin it is. We all know when you rip them with your teeth and whatnot, you drop that in and you can drop your boat down by at least 3-4 mil straight away in the water. It'll just settle. So best thing is pull it out of the rubbish. Let's see Pip. Let's see if she's off the weed this time.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Want to be making sure that's the go. Willscience.co.nz, Link Engine Management, the Flounder Pounder, and away. And again, there is an issue. So I wonder now if this is a weed issue or if we've got the two boats doing exactly the same thing. Who touched the spanners at lunchtime?
Yeah, well, now Pip's parked her up on the old corner that you talked about before with Jack Horner. By the look of it, she's just gone around that corner. I think what's happening is when they're starting these boats up at the pits here, they're sucking the weed off the actual bottom of the
launch ramp area.
So what's happened is it drifted in, I'd say, over the lunch hour. Normally what we used to do is whip a rake out there and have a bit of a rip round, but that potentially could be what's going on. So they'll have to have a quick look at that.
Oh, well.
Mate, if I can just jump in there late, and hey, welcome to the commentary box, mate. I'm surprised that three of us can actually fit in here, mate, because there's not that much room to move. But my job at lunchtime, mate, after taking over from you, is to get out and have a look around the lunch break and make sure everyone's happy. And I can report from the Flounder Pounder camp and, of course, the Link ECU camp that brain fade was the cause of John O'Veary's 2 wrong ways. No failure of the boat at all. So interesting, like you say, that both of them are having issues here. So Pip, again, I spoke to Pip just before the lunch break, and she said, forget about it, Slim. She said, I know we stuffed up. It's okay. You can call me a bitch, she said, because I went the wrong way, but I'm okay now. Well, don't know. Clearly the proof is in the pudding, because maybe they're not okay.
Well, so far she hasn't gone the wrong way, so that's a positive outcome. But mind you, she only got through the start line there a couple of times. So yeah, that breeze sort of coming down the course there. Just as you said, Leighton, you know, of course you designed and developed and built this track, 5 years ago now, 6 years ago,
6 years, yeah, 6 years. It's gone fast, and it's certainly in good nick. You know, you got to take your hat off to Jamie and Neil and the rest of the guys, the club guys that have come out here and helped, and you know, in 7 weeks to get this running. Here comes Jono. Let's see what he's done. Timbo, I saw him reach under there and grab a handful. So if he just stays on the plane a bit more, don't let the boat settle, it won't suck up. So let's hope he just keeps that around here, and let's see what happens here.
It's a much better start. You can see Chewy down in the launch ramp area, just dragging out enormous amounts of weed. John O'Berry, Millie Simmons sitting in the navigator seat, and this is looking like a much, much better run. So John Berry, earlier into the early part of the day, taking that left-hander in front of commentary, very, very narrow. Really opened up the apex on that one.
Doing a beautiful job of the hairpin, Davey. I took it in the bow of the boat, but have a look at this boat. Have a look at the link computer, how nicely it sits down in here. It sits there and bites out of the corners. That's what it's all about. He's got the coke can in there. He's got the numbers right. This is going to be a good run.
Yeah, John Berry really needing to stitch one together after a couple of wrong ways. So John O'Berry puts down a very, very good 43.075.
I'll just jump in there, mate. Now, obviously, talking about these guys going the wrong way in the earlier qualifying, they both didn't realise they'd gone the wrong way until they got back to the trailer. So Jono didn't realise that it was the hairpin that was causing him trouble, so they got onto that, they studied it over the lunch break, and obviously, folks, they've put it right because they've gone the right way and posted a really good time.
Yeah, very interesting if these guys aren't aware of what's going on. Bryce and Kylie Barron now, they've really tidied up how their boat is running right throughout the course of the day. Started off very ragged edge style of racing, really tidying up. Look forward to seeing what he can put down in this one.
Well, the ex-Paddy Hayden machine, and of course we know how well this boat goes. Certainly, he's done an extra loop there, so that's not going to help things. A lot of spray going on.
Yeah, really aggressive now, isn't he? So once you start getting that wrong way, put in that extra loop at the Lucas Oil's top part of the course, I squared up that sweeper as well. Didn't set himself up. Jeez, he got away with that. He was all over the shop.
This is rougher than an Aussie cricket player's bloody sandpaper, this one, mate. This is all over the show. But I tell you what, there's not much you can do. Once you start to go wrong from here, it all gets worse.
Oh, and a shutdown and backwards up into the tyres. Ladies and gentlemen, well, don't keep your eyes off the track for a second, and that is a fail. Just to rub it in. Hey, we're going to take a short break while we effect the rescue of Bryce and Kylie Barron. We'll be back in just a little bit. All right, for the third time for qualifying round number 5, let's see if Pip Thompson and Karen Wakeland can get the flounder pounder at full noise out of the start chute. So let's hope that the girls can do it. Certainly, Pip Thompson had plenty of experience over the years. Last year was driving a super boat. Decided that a little bit hard to do that and a little bit poppy off the line. But they've chopped that weed up and are now away they go. Will this be a tidy one? Let's hope so.
Man, that weed that they spat out the back of that boat looked like a bit of chow mein. I'll tell you, there was that much that came out. But yeah, they're certainly making up for lost time as they head back through the centre of the track. And hey, look, a big shout out to Leighton Manel. Thanks for sharing those views.
Wrong way.
Wrong way. But yeah, no, thanks Leighton for being here, mate. We know it took you a while to get out of the commentary box to start with a few seasons ago. So still going the wrong way. This is not certainly not a good run for them. But
now they're on to the rotation proper for Pip Thompson and Karen Wakeland. So, well, a long way to come back from there. They're not going to be bothering the pointy end of the field after this run. Qualifying round number 5, our final opportunity to qualify for the top 9 across all 3 classes.
But of course, with Bevan Schuler being out, they'll automatically slot into the bottom of the top 9 if the boat's going okay.
That's a yeah, if they get through. Don't chuck it up on the bank. Don't throw it into the silage bales. So Pip Thompson there with a massive amount of time on the clock. In fact, the old clock's got around. She clocked it.
She clocked the clock.
She clocked the clock.
Yeah, exactly right. But
1:04.64 and some change there for Pip Thompson and Karen Wakeland.
Hey, well, we glance up onto the bank now, and we look like there's a ton of green shirts up on there at the back. Put your hands up if you went and seen Sean and Faye Rice at the lunch break, folks. How many of you got green shirts on? Oh, you all look pretty flash too, so we all know where the money's at for the back half of this day, KB, that's for sure.
Yeah, got a great amount of stuff there. We've also got some other giveaways here, some Lucas Oil products as well. I've got some T-shirts. I'll send someone down there a little bit later, and some stickers as well. We were going to get that organised just in front of the lunch break, but of course our attention was focused elsewhere after the big crash there of Kyle and Darren, so they're all okay. So we'll give those T-shirts and the stickers away from the Lucas Oil products a little bit later. But it is next going to be Chris Rasmussen and Holly Sutherland, the Venom Machine professionals real estate here at the Professionals Aquatrack White Out very confidently. Did have a quick chat with these guys during that break, and they said they are very, very happy with the boat setup. There's not a lot that they're doing. They're just maintaining the maintenance, maintaining the fire, maintaining the poignancy. Oh, really got the bow dug in deep there. Copped a big face full of water. Always difficult when you're doing that. Now across the Lucas Oil's first half of the sweeper into the left-right combination they go. Now up to the top part of the track, looking like a very, very tidy run indeed.
Yeah, not a lot to report after the lunch break. These guys are pretty happy apart from the rough water, but yeah, that's a fantastic time to kick it off. 42.021 for Chris and Holly. They will be ecstatic with that, and that'll sit them pretty moving into the top 9, which is the next run for them. But yeah, no, so nothing much else to report out of the lunch break for this class, KV. Everyone, apart from Bevan Schuler, of course, will restart. So that's certainly a good sign always to hear that.
Sam Gray now, Mike Allen, Procession Racing, the cray fisherman and the forestry worker. What will they be able to achieve here? Got a little bit more bite. You might have seen that little bit of a wiggle off the start line. Some of the drivers seem to think that helps get the jet unit hooked up. They've gone the wrong way. Needed to go right across the top part of that course. Now they're back on the rotation proper.
Yeah, they've certainly settled that down pretty quick. Bit of a brain fade after lunch, but they're right back into the action as they head round to that. So as they come through, diving through the middle of the track. Oh, what a great start for these guys to get away from that.
They got a lot of smoke coming out of the engine bay as well. Not too sure if that's just oil out onto the breather, onto the headers. That seemed, there's more of it coming out. So So not sure if he's seen an oil pressure light or whether that is just smoke out of that breather. Let's hope there's nothing too dramatic. And across the line there with a 50.795, 50.795, and plenty of smoke wafting down into the commentary box window.
Yeah, the flag's gone up to there, KV. I don't know if they've spotted that, like you say, and they're just going to cruise in now. The buckets of water are at hand with our safety crew, just in case. They've told them to kill it, and let's see what happens. Pete will get them, have a look, just reassess what's going on with that. Hopefully nothing too major. Like you say, could be just a little bit of oil on there, but who knows, KV? That's why we don't swing the tools, mate.
No, that's right, mate. No point giving tools to monkeys, really. Trying to provide. Imagine you and me having a spanner in our hands. That'd be like giving a monkey a toothpick to perform brain surgery.
Yeah, well, that's true, mate. Well, you could do worse.
Well, maybe. That's right.
I know how to change a tyre. What are you saying?
Carl Beaver in the Beaver reliever. Jay Amon, when I spoke to her during the lunch break, she said, you know what, we've made a couple of rotational errors, but it is just playing the game. What we're doing is trying to get into the heads of the other drivers, the other navigators, the other crew, and just sort of give them a false sense of security. I had a chat to Carl. He went, yes, that's what's happening. We all know that is not what's happening.
Oh, that's dead right, mate, because that's very out of the ordinary for those guys. Oh, a bit of a cough there as it comes past the commentary box. They might be just feeling a little bit of the pressure as we head into the bend. No.
Oh, wide.
Yeah.
Oh, how he didn't pick up a little bit of dirt there is beyond me.
Yeah.
Rolled out of the accelerator, didn't decelerate massively, rolled out of it, and that has kept him in somewhere in the middle of the track after that one in the 44.153. These guys not at all showing the pace that we're used to seeing.
It's got a bit of our rotation coordinator sitting here beside me, KV. She's got a pen in her hand. I don't know if that was actually going to count there, so they may have gone the wrong way.
No,
they
they're
didn't.
okay.
We've given the nod, it's all, got the all clear.
So Daniel Reid was saying that they've got a oil pressure issue in this boat, so that's why they haven't been able to wring its neck. They spoke to Tony, Daniel's uncle, and he said, look, don't worry about it, mate, you'll be right, just squeeze the throttle. So let's see if we can get a decent one from the Egmont Industrial Supply Limited. Daniel Buttercup Reid and Jasmine Webster.
Certainly no weed left behind in this jet unit, KB, that's for sure, as they bounce out of the start line and head up for a nice line through the top of the track. Back now down through the middle. These guys, like I say, they've missed a couple of rounds, KB, but they're certainly putting it on for us today. Very cautious towards the start. Oh, just a little bit too much.
Oh, yeah.
Back through the middle. Butterbean, what are you doing, son?
And he's just heading up into that part of the course there. And now down through the middle into this left-right combination. Oh, he's run it wide as well. Gee, I tell you what, they've got a lot more boat speed, but certainly it could be a lot smoother. There is no question about that.
That's dead right as he comes around to pick up the stop the clock on a 47.282. And there'll be a bit of frustration in that camp, that's for sure.
But one good thing, the boat speed's certainly up to where they want it to be. So obviously the oil pressure gauge is telling them some lies. The engine builder Tony Reid just said, look, don't worry about it, it's probably just the gauge, which is in fact what we saw from Stewie Latham in the orange and white boat in the Ryco boat. So Tim and Debbie Edhouse now from the liquid addiction machine out of Ofongo.
Spoke to them at the lunch break. KB. Debbie was absolutely disgusted at their last run, and as I said to her, you wouldn't want to be a fly on the wall in their tent when they got out of the boat. They got a bit of a slap as they were heading back on the trailer, that's for sure. So they'll be looking to put it right this time, and they've started as they mean to go on. Tim was a little bit worried that he was driving like a bat out of hell, driving like he stole it in that last lap. But he's looking to put it right here.
He's really, from the earlier laps, he's just really nosing into that island. One of the few guys nails the hairpin regularly. He's coming a bit wider around the left turn before going to the PSP sweeper, and that's doing beautifully for him. This left-right, he's been able to get through there very nicely every time as well. Yeah, he's one of the consistent drivers that have, like you say, picked that up immensely, and as they come back down the
through the sprint part of the track. They'll come around. This will be a good time for them. A 44.380 and a very good time for Tim and Debbie Edhouse in the Liquid Addiction boat. And of course they are the reigning 1NZ, currently sitting third in the New Zealand Championship. So they'll want to get that, they won't want to change that number on the top of the boat, that's for sure.